Hello everyone, this is Anna from our Paper Paradise, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this cute Mother's Day card, a bouquet of daisies. If you have gotten your kit, you'll see that inside you have your fringe strips. You have 2 packs of quilling strips. You have your set of instructions. You have the base of your card and the embellishments of the card, as well as 2 sets of foam stickers. You will also need a quilling tool, some scissors, glue. I use Elmer's glue, Elmer's glue wall, I should say. And this is really nice to have for gluing parts to cards, but you don't need to. It's just an easy way for me to glue the embellishments to the card. So I recommend something like this or glue dots, but you can use just a regular glue as well. So we will start with the easy part of it, and it's the purple strips that you have in your kit. We are going to do the same thing for all of them, and that is we are going to take the quilling tool, take one of the strips, place it into the slot on the quilling tool, move it all the way to the end of the strip, and then start rolling. Now you can roll away from you like I'm doing, or towards you. It doesn't matter to the end result. It's whatever makes you feel more comfortable. And you just roll it until you reach the end of the strip. Then you take a little bit of glue, place it on that little tab, and press it closed. You have created tight coil. So you'll notice that this has a little bump on the top. That is perfectly normal and fine. You can just press it on both sides or press it on a table and it will flatten out. You just repeat that to all the purple strips. Pretty easy, just same process all the time. Once you're done with your purple strips, we are going to move on to the fringe strips. Now your strips are already fringed, but I'm going to show you how I make them. And you'll notice you have 2 kinds of strips. One that is just one piece of paper, and it's just fringed on one edge, and the other one seems to be double, and this is a folded piece of paper and then fringed on one edge. So what we do to get that fringing is we cut the paper to the size we want. Usually I cut 1/2 inch strips if I want to do just the one strip with the fringe edge, or 1 inch strips if I want to do the double strip. And for the double strip, we'll just take the 1-inch piece that we cut and fold it in half all the way through. And then once it's folded, I can go in and fringe it. How do I fringe it? I do it by hand. There are machines that will do it. They look kind of like a telegraph. You just push a lever on one side and it pulls the strip in and cuts it. But I have always done it like by hand, and I just do it pretty fast now. And that's about it. It's not very precise. You just make sure not to cut yourself. Make sure not to cut all the way through. Leave a little bit on the edge there. If you make a cut that is too thick, you can go back and cut another one in between. So this takes practice, but once you get it, you get it. It's not rocket science. There is another way you can do this. There are those scissors to cut vegetables that have several blades on them, so you can make several cuts at once. Personally, I don't like them as much because I have no control about the width of the each fringe. They cut that size and that's the size. You cannot change that. These ones, I can make them a little thinner, a little thicker, depending on what I want. And like I said, if you make it too thick, you can always go back and adjust it. All right, so you just do this to all the 5 strips that you have. Some, I think 3 are one-sided and 2 are double-sided. And then I'll show you how we're going to put the flowers together. So once you've done all your purple centers in tight coils, you are going to grab, let's start with the one-sided one, the fringe piece, and you grab one of the coils, you put a little bit of glue on the side there, and then you bring your fringed strip and lay it right against the seam there. And the bottom of the strip that is not fringed should match the bottom of the coil. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can just roll it tightly with your hands. That's how I always do it. But and if you're starting out, that might be easier, but sometimes you want to do a little extra, so you put a little bit of glue along the bottom edge there, and then you roll it. When you're rolling it, you want to make sure the bottom is always lined up with the bottom of the tight coil. We want to glue these guys down on the card afterwards, so you want a good surface to glue it down to. And you just hold it like that and roll it with these 2 fingers. These 2 fingers keep it lined up. And if it's not tight enough, you can always pull it a little. Be gentle. It doesn't need to pull a lot and rip it off. This is paper after all. So once you have that much left, you just put some glue on there, and then we're going to close it off. The process for the other three one layer fringes is exactly the same. You just take the tight coil in the center and glue the fringe around it. So right now the fringe is all closed. What we're going to do is push it outward, just like opening a flower. And you just start by pushing it. I always have a finger back here just to help with the process. So right now, this is not looking very much like a flower. It's a little weird. So we're going to give it a little more shape. And to do that, we are going to put our finger under the petals, and then with our thumb, we are going to kind of rub the petals down. This gives them a little curve, makes them look a little cuter. And you can always do that with your hand. You notice how they're curving outward now. And it looks a lot more open and cute. And that's one flower right there. Now we're going to move on to the double-sided fringe. The process is exactly the same. We are going to take one of the tight coils. You'll have different colors in there, but how you mix and match it is up to you. It doesn't really matter that much. Line it up, the edge there. Now this one, because it is double-sided, it's going to be a little trickier to keep lined up. So you are really going to have to control this. And also because it's double-sided, I like to place the glue on there like I showed you on the other one. So I put a line of glue all the way to the end. And then I am going to carefully curl it up. And it's going to fight you because it has extra strength on there. But you will always have to keep it lined up with the base. That's the most important part. And you want to keep it tight as well as you roll. So it's going to bulk sometimes, but you gotta discipline it. See right there, there's a little bump on there. That's when it bulked at me. So you keep pressing it, you keep guiding it with your fingers, and you'll be okay. See how it's bowing here? This is going to bulk a little. So you just have to press it. And then when you're done, this layer is going to glue because it's the layer where you put the glue on, but the outside layer is sticking out a little, so you just put a little bit of glue there and then shut it up. Okay, this one is going to be even more fun to open. It's going to be fluffier. Same process though, you just push it. Oops. You really have to let the glue dry though, or else it will just open up on you. So make sure you have it dry and then you can do this. I'm doing the same thing I did to the other one, just pushing the petals down, curling them down a little. There you have it. Cute little daisy. You can continue to play with it as you wish. You can make them a little more close if that's how you want the card to look like. That's up to you. All right, once we have all the flowers made, there's going to be 5 of them. I had already made some in advance. We can proceed to assemble the card. So in your pack, you have a card base. And the reason I made it this way is so that once it's finished, you can place it like that and you'll have the flowers on there. So it's kind of a flower bouquet standalone thing. How did I make this? I had a piece of cardstock that was a regular 11 by 8.5. I cut it in half lengthwise, and then I folded each half, and that's it. Nothing special about that. So next step on this card making is taking this piece of cardstock you have in there. This is going to lay in the center of your card base. And to do this, you either use your glue and just run it down the cardstock. If you use glue, I do recommend that you run your finger over it so you don't have concentrations of glue that might make the cardstock ripple. But if you can get this guy, I highly recommend it because it's so much easier and practical. And all I do is run it there. There we are. And then this is a little bigger than this card base, so we are going to line it up at the top. As you can see, I am eyeballing it, so I'm kind of making sure and that it has the same amount of space on each side, and then I'm just lining it up on the top. It's harder than it seems with the camera in the way. But that's the beauty of this sticker too. You see, I can just lift it up again, and it's not permanent until you let it rest for a while. There you go. And if it's too long for your cardstock, you just flip it around and cut along the edge of the card to remove the excess. There we go. So now we have the base. We can now play around with our daisies. So they are going to be on the upper side of the card. We don't want this to be too symmetrical. That's the beauty of card making. That's why I have 5 daisies instead of 4. and you can place them however you want. If you want to place one in each corner and one in the middle and then one in each corner, that's fine with me. You just play with them as you wish. Really, there is no set rules for this part. I had kind of a design I liked before. I'm gonna keep with that. So that's more or less the design I like. Once those are there, I can go ahead and place this guy and see more or less. I'm trying to get more or less the same space as I have up there down here, so maybe like that. Again, not a perfect science. So if you feel better putting it sideways, you can do that, and then you can trim the excess, any excess that's on the sides. Like I showed you, you flip it around and cut the excess. If you want to put it like that, offset, you can do the same thing, glue it down, cut the excess, you're good. The beauty of card making is adapting it to your likes. Let's see. Not measuring anything, just eyeballing it. Okay, that looks good. So then comes into play the green pack of strips that you have in your pack, in your kit. So for this, guys, you can do two things. I'm gonna set that over there. You can slide it into the quilling tool. You can start rolling the same way we did for the tight coils, only we are not gonna glue the end of them. So once you're done, you're gonna take it off the strip and let it open up. Once it's open up a little bit, you can put a little bit of glue on there and close it. All right, so with this guy, once you have this is called the loose coil, and once you have the loose coil, we are going to shape it into an eye shape. And to do that, we are just going to squish both sides of that coil. You can see it's an eye shape. And I had already made a few, so we're going to distribute them around the arrangement there. Another thing you can do, I have another strip here, and I'm just going to fold it in half. And then slide it into the tool. I'm going to curl this side, not all the way to the middle, but a decent way. And I'm uncurling it and curling it again with my finger just to open the curl a little more. And then I take the other side, do the same thing, and I'm going to curl the same way I curl this one, so that way. And this one I'm going to curl a little further down. So you can see they curl on both in the same direction, and just they make just a cute little swirl. I have another one already made. So with these guys, once you've figured out the arrangement you want, you are going to put some glue on the back of the flowers, and you're going to press them down and let them dry. And then you are going to take the leaves you made and you're gonna play with them a little bit. So I'm gonna put that one there. I don't like it that way, so put it that way. You can also glue the center of these so they're tight like that. I'm gonna do that. I don't want them opening. There's one there. Can put another one down here. Gonna glue it again. You can leave it open if you like it. I'm just not liking how it looks right now, so I'm changing it to what I like. And that's what I tell you to do as well. You can adapt this design to however you like. Put that one there. And I'm gonna add another one down here, just because I feel like it. So to glue these down, it's the same thing as the daisies. You just put a layer of glue on the shape and then place it gently. You can press it down a little, but don't move it around too much or you'll just smear the glue. These little guys, they're a little more tricky, but you can put just a layer of glue along the line there and a little bit of glue on the coils. And again, just place them and don't try and move them around too much or they'll smear the glue all over. We're almost done with the card. The last part, you have the little foam stickers. You have 6 of them. So we are going to take the Happy Mother's Day sentiment here and we're going to place these stickers. I recommend 1 on each corner and then 2 in the middle. And you just take the sticker out of them, place them on here, then take the other side of the sticker, and then I'm just going to show you how it looks. Place it right there. This is not the same size as this card down here, but it is the same size as the blue or the teal card. So you line it up with the teal card, but not with the green. The green should have a little bit above and a little bit below. Again, if you want to do this, you can do it. If you want to move it to the side, you can do it. It's up to you, really. And that is our card. I'm going to glue all of this down so I can show you how it stands up on its own. But I'm going to speed through it so you don't have to witness the whole shebang. There we go. There's our card. And then you can just place it on the table like that, and there's a bouquet for your mom. Now, one thing I would like to notice is that this is not the same card as you have on your instruction sheet, and that's because every card you make is going to be different, and this one just looked better like this to me. This one looked better like that. So have freedom to change your card and play with it. Share your results with me in the comments or on my Facebook page. And I hope you had fun. Thank you. Take care.